Hello everyone, my name is Joelle and welcome to this yoga practice to balance and energize our second chakra, our sacral chakra. I would recommend having 2 yoga blocks for today's practice, and we'll get started in a comfortable seat, maybe up on 1 block or 2 blocks. Close the eyes, bring the hands to rest at the point of the sacral chakra just over the abdomen. And let's begin by taking some deep breaths as we bring our focus into this area. So our sacral chakra, or svadisthana in Sanskrit, is associated with how we relate to the world and how we take pleasure from experiences including creativity and sensuality. So as we flow through today's practice, I invite you to bring to mind an affirmation: I create and receive pleasure in my life. And you might open the eyes here and bring the soles of the feet together and the knees out wide into cobbler's pose, opening up through the inner thighs and groin. And you could rest the hands on the knees here if you'd like. So when this sacral chakra is balanced, we feel joy. We feel meaningful, we feel vibrant, almost in a childlike way, as it's linked to our inner child. Beautiful. And let's progress now. We'll come into a seated twist. So bring the left foot flat on the mat on top, or across the right knee rather. Let's catch hold of that left knee with the right arm as we twist over to the side. So inhale to sit up even taller and exhale to twist around. And if you'd like to bind the arms, sliding that right arm underneath the left knee, you could do so, but it's not necessary. Just find the twist that works for you. And we can release that. Well done. And we'll simply switch sides. So the right leg comes across with the foot just beyond that left knee, hugging the right knee with the left arm, or taking the bind and just looking over that right shoulder. So if our sacral chakra is imbalanced, which is quite common, we might struggle to find the pleasure that we seek. We might miss out on intimacy or connections with others. And it can also contribute to things like low back pain or appendicitis or menstrual pain. So it's a nice opportunity to take care of ourselves today. And we can release that twist. Just move the blocks out of the way if you need to. And we'll move up and back into downward facing dog. So spreading the fingers wide here, pedaling the feet. I will link in the description box down below to another video that I filmed about the meaning of the 7 primary chakras, what they are, how they impact us in different ways that we can help balance them. And I'll also link to an excellent book that includes quizzes to help determine whether any of your chakras, including the sacral chakra, may be out of balance. So I highly recommend that. And then let's step the right foot forward into a low lunge. You might bring the hands onto blocks here. Give yourself more space. Keeping a little bit of engagement in that back glute as we sink the hips forward. So in addition to yoga, other ways that we can work to balance our sacral chakras, actually to get in touch with our inner child, and that might be playing games or reading books for children, or just reflecting back on what you enjoyed when you were a child and where that child has gone. And then we'll simply walk around to the center here, so a nice wide-legged forward fold with the toes slightly turned inward. And you could stay up on the fingertips or on a block. Or you might catch hold of opposite elbows and just kind of let yourself dangle here. Our sacral chakra is also linked to the element of water, so making sure that we're drinking enough or surrounding ourselves with water, maybe taking a dip in the pool, going kayaking, taking a walk next to a lake. All of those can also help with aligning that chakra. Even just listening to the sound of running water can be nice. And let's release that. Bring the hands to the waist, engage the abs to come up tall, and we'll turn the right toes out to find our triangle pose, reaching the arms out to the side. Inhale to reach forward, and exhale to bring that right hand down. And you might rest it on the shin, you might put a block underneath that right hand. And you could choose to look up at the left hand, or keep the gaze down towards that front foot. Great side body stretch. Beautiful. And if you did have a block, just take it with you as we move to the other side. So turning those left toes out now. Reaching forwards and then bringing that left hand down to a block or to the mat, or maybe catching hold of that big toe. Another nice thing to do to bring our sacral chakra into balance is to create, whatever that means to you. Maybe that's baking or dancing or writing in a journal. We can come back up. Let's just bring the feet even further apart if you'd like, for another standing wide-legged forward fold, maybe going a little bit further this time. And the hands can be on the hips, on the floor, on a block, maybe catching hold of the legs to pull yourself in a little bit deeper. Still directing our breath and our energy towards the area of our sacrum, to that chakra. I create and receive pleasure in my life. How true does this feel for you today? Beautiful work. And then let's walk the hands over towards the left. We'll come into that low lunge on the left side, hands on blocks or on the mat, sinking the hips. And you might know that I already have a 15-minute practice for the first chakra, the root chakra. And that one is, of course, linked below as well. And I would love to know if you're enjoying these and if you would like for me to film more in this series for our other chakras. Just let me know in the comments. Beautiful. And then let's step it back into downward facing dog. Just pedal it out just for a moment here. And then on an exhale, we can release the knees down towards the mat, and we'll just come to seated. And you might be up on a block here if you'd like. And we'll come into shoelace pose. So the right knee wiggles on top of the left. And you could also put a block in between the knees if that feels nicer. Either sitting up tall here, or if you'd like to intensify, you can also start to walk that upper body forwards. And as you might know, each chakra is also linked to a color, and our sacral chakra is linked to orange, hence my outfit. So bringing orange into our lives through nature or food or clothing can be another really nice way to give this chakra more attention. And then let's walk those fingertips back up. And we'll come into either a nice cross-legged seated position, maybe on a block, or you could go a little bit further and come into double pigeon or fire log pose, bringing the right shin on top of the mat, on top of the left shin. Both feet flexed. And just like we did before, either choosing to sit up tall here with the eyes closed or leaning forwards. Wonderful. Let's release that. Shake the legs out. And we'll try that shoelace pose on the left. So left knee on top of right here, staying up tall or releasing forwards. Just listening to the sound of your deep breaths in and out through the nose, releasing any tension or guilt or insecurities. Just let that breath feed the notion of being at peace with yourself and with others. And you might just notice if there's any difference on this side as compared to the first one. And then we'll walk back up here and we'll come into again either that cross-legged position with the other shin in front or with the left shin on top of the right for that fire log pose. And here's a nice option to put a block under that knee. This side is tighter for me. So just create the pose that is right for you now and find pleasure in it wherever it is that you are. Very good. And we'll shake those legs out again one more time. And then we'll bring the legs out to the side. You can keep the knees bent if you'd like, with a block under each knee or sitting up on the blocks and staying up tall, or you could also use the blocks to support you as you bring the upper body forwards. So really deep opening here through that sacral area. Nice posture for lower back pain and tension in the inner thighs. And just settling in. This one can be quite sensational for most of us. Quite vulnerable. So just focus on those breaths. Just a few more seconds here. And wherever you were in that posture, we can start to come out of it. Moving the blocks over to the side of the mat as we transition onto our backs here. Take your time getting there. Straightening out through both legs. Turning the palms upwards, closing the eyes. Taking any little wiggles or movements to find comfort in this Shavasana. And imagine a warm orange light bathing you with its energy. Just noticing how you're feeling as compared to when we started this short practice. And you can stay in Shavasana as long as you'd like, and if you enjoyed this practice, I hope you'll hit the like button once you've finished. It really helps support my work. And I invite you to subscribe so that we can practice together in future sequences, including future chakra sequences. Do remember to check out the description box below for other videos and resources that I mentioned. And I wish you a very creative and pleasurable day. Thank you so much, and namaste.